always, a special week on the PGA Tour, an elite field, as the greatest players in the game make their way here to Central Florida, in part as a tribute to the man who has meant so much to the game of golf. He is now 73 years old. Arnold Palmer, who has a special guest this week, Jack Nicklaus, here at Bayhill, together again, perhaps for the final time in a PGA Tour event. Bayhill, one of the wonderful traditions on the PGA Tour, and today that tradition continues. Tiger Woods, perhaps the king in waiting, the three-time defending champion. And here his second shot at 3 after making bogey at the second to start at +1.
This ball lands on the right fringe. Watch the spin on this.
Tiger went on to make birdie there. Here's his second shot at the 18th. Always difficult. One of the most difficult finishing holes on the PGA Tour.
This from 156 yards just carries over the water. Stiff.
And a very nice moment as Tiger made his way up the fairway. A young lady coming out, giving Tiger an American flag, appropriate on a day like today, and a kiss for good luck. And it must have worked, because here's Tiger for birdie at the 18th to shoot 70.
Never in question.
So a good start for Tiger in his quest to win 4 consecutive times here at Bayhill. Meanwhile, some other spectacular moments. John Daly, this for bogey at the 6th.
A 6, which is what, 12 shots better than he made here a few years ago.
His legendary 18. But able to save bogey there. Daly shot 71, and an early move from the young Aussie, Aaron Baddeley. This for birdie to get to 5 under at the 12th. He did bogey 15 and 16 to finish at -3. That was tied for the low round of the morning. And then Robert Gomez, who won here in spectacular fashion as a rookie in 1990, his second shot at 13.
Sand wedge from 107 yards. Watch the spin on this. Past the cup twice.
So a look at our leaderboard. Gomez has fallen back to -3 after getting it to 4 under, so a lot of players collectively at that number, 69. Tiger heads the group at 70. Nick Faldo, and only his second PGA Tour event of the year, is there as well. Brad Faxon also with a 70. Ernie Els, we're going to watch him today. He's at -1, the first time in a stroke play event this year for Tiger and Ernie, 1 and 2 in the world. Some of those young names that you talked about, Roger, Gossett, Kuchar, Charles Howell III, all at -1.
And we go back to 13.
And Ernie Els now for birdie. Miscalculation, horribly short. Let's go to 2.
And our host, Arnold Palmer.
But for par. All right, Arnold. See, he picked that ball up out of the cup rather gingerly. Back still bothering him, sore shoulder.
As we send you out to the 6th, Gary.
And the 558-yard par 5, the horseshoe around the lake. Kirk Triplett's drive, not findable. Had to go back and replay a tee shot. Now putting for bogey. And well hold for a 6. We'll move him back to 1 under par as we go back to 13.
And a good look from behind the green. Short par 4, 364 yards. David Duval now his second. Ernie Els did tap in for his par. David 4 over for the day. And he said, I'm not cured of my vertigo, but I'm playing. I'm playing. And over at the 14th hole, 209 yards. Jim Gallagher, you're right there with this group.
Well, Bob, the wind's blowing hard left to right, and the pin's in the back left portion of this green. A very difficult pin to get it close to. I'd say 4 days in the middle of this green would be pretty sporty.
That would be wonderful. Yeah, you feel like you want to try to hold something up against the wind, but the bunkers, of course, are right on the left side. I've seen guys all day now, Jim, just standing there shaking their head. They've ripped up a lot of grass, I'll tell you that, testing the wind.
I guarantee you, it's just a hard shot. You know, like you said, you want to try to play it up against it, but it's blowing so hard from left to right. But left is no good either.
green is very firm. Ideally, carry something about 200 yards in the middle. That would be wonderful. Frank's chosen 4-iron here. Recent winner in Tucson, Licklider. Yeah, good play, and I would expect that to have bounced much more firmly than it did.
Ernie Els and Roger, there's been so much talk heading into this week about the sort of showdown type atmosphere with Tiger. There was that discussion at La Costa, but they didn't quite make it that far to meet head-to-head in the final. However, in a stroke play event, given Tiger's success here, would Tiger still be the overwhelming favorite, or is this a good position for Ernie without having to play as the front runner?
Well, Tiger is always going to be the overwhelming favorite, but it's time for a great rivalry in this game, and you know, Ernie's showing signs that his game's taken on another level, that he's playing better than ever. I'm sure his confidence has got to be sky high right now. So we look forward to some great duels between the two of them.
Staring this one down, out in 35 today.
That catches the green side bunker left.
Let's go back out, join Bob Murphy, and check in on Ernie Els.
I think the good news is he's slightly on the upslope of the bunkers, makes it an easier shot.
Ball's going to land on a little bit of a downslope. Well, no, it's not now.
Wow. He just went right straight under that ball, right into the bottom. It would appear that he was saying the sand is a bit piled up there, but that's an excellent lie to hit a shot. Looked like he lifted up and then dropped his arms there, Roger.
Well, certainly I think there had to be more sand underneath it than Ernie was expecting. Might have been less sand or firmer sand underneath his feet.
What do you think there, Jim Gallagher?
I agree with you guys. There's like powder underneath it. It was, you know, it was right up against that lip, but it just like sugar cane there. Just went right underneath it.
The point being, the softer the sand, the harder effort it takes, bigger swing it takes to get the ball to move out of it.
And meantime, back at 13, David Duval now in a very flat bunker stance. Wonderful bunker player, this man. We'll tap that in for his par. We'll go to 18.
Good look from above at this wonderful finishing hole. And there is Robert Gamez, who had perhaps the greatest shot in this event's history as a rookie back in 1990. Here he is live.
This one considerably shorter today, just 145 yards, and it is long.
This is going to come back out of the rear portion of the green and take the slope back. Not all bad.
Giving himself a shot at birdie. Well, he was a 21-year-old rookie back in 1990, and this was the moment. A 7-iron from 176 on the 72nd hole. Eagle 2, and he wound up beating Greg Norman by 1 shot.
Still hard to imagine.
Best finish since that victory was a tie for 4th in 1996, but one of the great moments in his career for Robert Gamez. Has had a good day today. 3 under, sharing the lead. Well, with events unfolding in Iraq, it has been an extraordinary day for our nation. While here at Bayhill, there has been a weather delay of almost 5 hours, and during that time, many of the players gathered around television sets in the locker room to watch news reports from the Middle East. The kind of day that certainly puts the game of golf and the diversion of sports in general in perspective. But as you can see, the weather has cleared here in Orlando. The horn has sounded, and the players have just resumed play in what is always one of the favorite weeks on tour. The annual gathering at Bayhill to honor one of the legends of the game, Arnold Palmer.
And a beautiful look at the tee at the par 5 6th, 558-yard horseshoe, dogleg left around the lake.
I couldn't think of a tougher driving hole to start on than this.
Ooh.
Your first full swing on the course after 5 hours of rain delay.
Just make sure it doesn't go left. Oh, boy, he took off a lot.
Wow. I'll bet that had all of his attention.
I guarantee it did. About a 280-yard carry on that line. As we move to the par 5 16th, Kirk Triplett with this birdie effort to get to 3 under, make it a 10-way tie for the lead. Ooh.
And a good look from back in the fairway, over the green, over the water. Darren Clark, he just eagled 12 to get to even par. Hear the ball, and look at this. That's some nice action on the ball there. From 110 yards, threw it right up in the air.
Steve Lowry getting ready to play his third shot to the 16th hole, the par 5. Wedge from 107 yards. Will it spin? Oh, here it comes. There we go. So Steve Lowry will have 2.5, 3 feet and a chance to get to 4 under par. We'll go to number 9.
And Robert Gomez, his second shot. Robert, 2 under par. Beautiful drive at the 9th. 467 yards today. Great golf shot. Landed at least 45, 50 feet short of the hole. He'll have that to tie for the lead to 6.
Ernie Els taking a look at what Jim appears to be pretty straightforward little chip shot.
It is, Gary, just in the first cut of rough. Perfect lie. Maybe a 50-foot pitch. Looks like he's going to pull out the putter here. Not a bad play, though.
Let's take a look at Ernie Els' reaction when he sees just how close that ball came. Yeah, well, that's twice on the same hole. Good lesson for the folks at home when you see the number 2 player in the world pulling out a putter from some 7 or 8 feet off the green and out of the light cut of rough. Asking for it to go, and it comes up about 6 feet short. Up at 17, Kirk Triplett, birdie putt, chance to get into that big group at 3 under. Boy, power failure. Woo. We'll go over to 16 and Peter Lonard's putt for eagle. Mark.
Well, it's not an easy putt to read, Gary. The problem that Peter has got is this ridge right in front of him has a pretty sharp edge to it, and this ball is going to turn left quickly in the first 5 or 6 feet of the putt. Then it will straighten out as it gets up toward the hole.
Haven't seen an eagle here yet today. Could it be? All right, good effort. And back at 6. Another putt for eagle, Jim.
Maybe 20 feet, Gary. Ought to go a little right to left. Hit a wonderful shot in there. Tough pin to get to. Also on a hot start, 3 under today.
Did he hit it? No.
Well, think you know whose strong play will carry into next week? Select your dream team of players and play Tour Fantasy. Sign up today at PGA TOUR.com. So we go back to the play at the 9th.
And Robert Gomez for that birdie. He looks at the hole strangely, but I'm telling you, it's working. He's gone to the belly putter. That's helping. He's made $374,000 this year, so very good start for Robert. That a round of 1 under par, as you see, 70, 71. Very nice. Back to 6.
Ernie Els with a chance to take the outright lead. Well, first 14 holes, he's had 25 putts. In his last 18, he's had just 23. Pretty good indication why he's playing so well. And there's another one. Ernie Els to 4 under par. That's 6 under par in his round today. Taking advantage of 2 good breaks on the same hole. And back over at 16, Lonard with this short birdie putt. Chance to join Ernie Els at 4 under. And that's well holed. So now we have 2 atop the leaderboard. And Steve Lowry with a short putt to Mark Rolfing also moved to 4 under.
I think it's actually maybe a little tougher putt than the one Lonard had. May have just a little break to the left to it.
This guy gets going though, Mark. He can make birdies in bunches.
That was a terrific 3rd shot he hit here. The 16th fairway out there, as we could see earlier, has a lot of casual water in it, so I think there's going to be some kind of squirting type shots coming out of there. Of course, they would get relief from it, but I did see some mud on a couple of the balls out there just a moment ago.
'17.
Tee shot for Peter Lonard. See, setting up well left, trying to play some kind of left to right shot into this green. Well, the 17th green's holding a lot better today than it did yesterday, Roger.
Just by the fact that 1 stopped.
At the 3rd, here's Billy Andrade to go to 3 under. Into Wake Forest on an Arnold Palmer scholarship. Back to the 7th now, Ernie Els, one of our 3 co-leaders, along with Peter Lonard and Steve Lowry. We have 18 players within 2 shots of the lead.
This shot should set up a little better for Ernie now. He likes to draw the ball slightly as his preferred shot shape. What's he got, Jim?
I think he's got a 6-iron here. He was right in between clubs, Roger.
So this is the junior 6?
This is the junior.
Yeah, you can see him kind of just float through impact there. Probably why he left it a little bit out to the right, but a good shot.
Champion here in 1998, the only international player to win at Bayhill in its previous 24 years. As we go back to the 17th.
Steve Lowry on the tee. Watching it intently. Okay, another good shot. So both Lonard and Lowry will have birdie putts at 17 as we go back to 13.
And there's our host, having a good day. Just birdied 12. Second shot at 13, the par 4. Hole location today, the easiest on the hole. Beautiful shot. We're going to see a lot of close shots today. We might even see a 2 today at that hole location. Back to 3.
Nicholas Fost. This is for birdie to go to 3 under. Well, you see that confidence growing, Roger.
That was a very aggressive stroke there.
So Fost joins those players within 1 of the lead. It's Els, Lonard, and Lowry at 4 under par. 2nd round of the Bayhill Invitational presented by Cooper Tires here on USA.
Well, there is one man who has felt most at home here at Bayhill. It's less than a 10-minute drive from Tiger Woods' home over in Isleworth. and he has owned this tournament the last 3 years. 3 years ago, picked up his first win here at Bayhill and stood next to the king to accept the sword. And then a couple of years ago, breaking out of the so-called slump to win it again. And then last year won it for the 3rd straight time. So as he eyed a 4th title in a row this week, Tiger feeling right at home again. 3rd round after that 2nd round 65, chipping in at the 5th. As he birdied 4 of the first 6 holes, staving off the field, including the #2 player in the world, Ernie Els, who's had a rough day so far for his 3rd round. Tiger Woods' biggest challenger has been Brad Faxon, just 4 back. Aaron Baddeley did make his par at 11 to remain at 7 under, 6 behind Mr. Woods as we go out to that final threesome at the 11th. Roger.
Stewart Cink first to play, hole cut in the very back left portion of this green. Has 182 yards to the hole, wind helping, but has to play across the lake, guarding the front of the green. The pin just on 8 paces from that front left side, so not a lot of room in there.
Doesn't set up great for a fade, does it, Rod?
No, it doesn't. But still, you can land the ball a little right of the hole here, John. The slope of the green will take it in toward the hole.
Is he planning to draw there or just straight?
Well, he's trying to draw it, but it's not doing much. It's right of the hole toward the center of the green.
He was trying to cross it over, but it just didn't quite. That's a good shot. Good distance control. Tiger loves playing here in Orlando. Won twice at Disney, and of course 3 times here. 5 wins coming right out near his home, so that makes it convenient, Roger?
Very.
You see the physique on this guy. He is wiry and strong, boy.
173 yards left to the hole.
You'll play that little draw?
I would think so, John. He usually plays the right shot.
That's a little higher follow through. He's going with a high one?
Yes, he is, and it's going a little left of the hole.
That was a different swing there, and it's a good shot around the edge.
Over to 15, see if Faxon can inch closer to Mr. Woods. Mark?
He's got about 10 feet here. Should break a little bit to his right.
Oh, has he come back from that 3-putt? He's got 5 birdies in the last 6 holes. That lone bogey at the 13th. Only 1 par in the last 9 holes. 7 birdies in all. Back to 11.
That's not for 172 yards, 7 iron.
See if he can get back on track, Raj.
Well, this sounded a little bit deep. Right of the hole.
Oh, that's good. Good distance. Chased it up there a little bit.
Up ahead to 18. Moment ago, Scott Vert playing 2nd shot to this always drama-filled finishing hole at Bayhill.
This is a scary shot. He's playing a nice high little cut shot into the banana slice green, and boy, that was dangerous there. But he got a good forward hop, tremendous forward hop.
Back at the par 3 17th, Stephen Ames with this birdie putt. Chance to get to 7 under par, up and over ridge. Should come back a little left. Ooh. Oh. Wow. I guarantee you he thought that was in.
Almost like a raised lip there on the right.
The way it rocked back to the right. Just a moment ago at 16, David Gossett putting for eagle from the back fringe. Pretty straight putt from here, and David Gossett, the 4th eagle of the day at 16. Moves into 2 under par. So we go back to 11.
And Stewart Cink for birdie.
Downhill putt breaking to the left.
And just a bit too much speed.
That ball was down in the hole and came back out, Roger. You know, that I'd say 2/3 of that ball was underneath the edge of the hole. Let's take a look at it. Maybe we can see how much that was that way. Watch this. Let's see if the ball dips down in. There it goes down in, and half the ball was down in.
Almost sunk in for Cink.
A little better than 15 feet. This 2 right to left. Looks as though it may try to straighten up just a little bit in the area of the hole, but still overall pretty good break from right to left.
Nicklaus with a par as well, remains at 4 under. By the way, Houston and Verplank both made their short tap-ins for birdie at 18. So 67 for Verplank, birdie finish, and a 66 for Houston, who moves to 7 under. Tie for 4th.
Could have got some odds, Roger, that Els would be off the first page of our leaderboard at this stage, huh?
Well, you're not kidding, but every time he hits a shot, Johnny, he's constantly going to his wrist. You know, it just has to be bothering him.
That's that right wrist with that little white thing on there. What is that white thing, Roger? Is that a rubber band or something?
Well, no, it's just it's like a copper bracelet, that kind of thing. It's involving ions, and negative ions and positive ions, and somehow it's supposed to fix what ails you.
You got some land in Florida too, right?
Exactly.
This guy's got some positive ions.
Yeah, between his ears.
This one will slide a little to his right.
Boy, he has been, the ones he's missed, he's just been all over the edge.
Well, that's 5 in a row, Roger.
Yeah, it is. Hole after hole, he's had putts 15 feet and in for birdie.
I tell you, though, you're never going to get too many people feeling sorry for him.
So this for a 5th consecutive par for Tiger after those 4 birdies in the first 6 holes. So he has cooled off a bit, but these pars have been very stress-free.
Well, he's got a 5-par coming up next hole, right up his alley if he hits a good tee shot. Yep.
Let's go to the long par 3 14th.
And the veteran Kenny Perry, 17 years on tour. This for birdie. Down, going left, 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 and in. Over to 17.
And that is the tee shot of Vijay Singh on the way. Singh back after a 5-week absence on the tour. Injured himself practicing. And we go out to the 12th. The 580-yard par 5, and Tiger Woods on the tee.
Wind coming from the left, maybe hurting slightly, but still Tiger has to flirt down the right center, right side of this fairway in order he doesn't run out of room on the left-hand side.
Is the perfect shot, Gary, you think like a power fade just down the right side?
I think so, Johnny. The fairway does narrow up to about 25 yards in width, where Tiger's ball should end up.
This ball starts left and is carving right toward the center of the fairway.
And I think just fine. Well positioned. We'll see if he can go for the green in 2 as he did yesterday. And we move ahead. Same hole, 12th. Aaron Baddeley ready for his 3rd shot. This from 105 yards. Back center hole location here today at the 12th.
Just the first 5-par this week. He hasn't gone far in 2.
Ideally bring this in low and kind of skip it back to the hole. Use the slope to the right there, but doesn't quite carry it far enough. Yep. Disappointing. As we go to 16, and Brad Faxon going for the green in 2. Mark.
231 yards, Gary. The wind into him, albeit not too strong.
It's a long iron there, Mark.
He's hit it solid, Johnny.
203 to the front edge. Boy, he has carried it well up into the green and into the back bunker, which is not a bad position.
Aaron Baddeley among those many players trying to mount a charge on Tiger Woods. Faxon within 3. And it is a wet, soggy Sunday at Bayhill today as we continue to hope for a quick conclusion to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. The world of sports goes on, and here in Orlando, the rain that was forecast for later in the day showed up a little earlier than expected. It is raining right now. The forecast is for more rain, but there might be a window or two to get through play today. So far, play has been uninterrupted, and because of the weather, PGA Tour officials have moved up the tee time, so we bring you this final round on a tape-delayed basis. And the rain was coming down in buckets when the final group teed off. That included Tiger Woods, who came into this day with a 5-shot lead over Brad Faxon, faced with this par saver at the second. And through the raindrops, Tiger remained at 15 under. He stayed 5 up and then had another attempt to save it at the third. He had a 6-shot lead with that save because Brad Faxon bogeyed the hole, and then he went to the par 5 fourth. His second shot again through the driving rain from 256 yards. Gives himself an eagle opportunity. Tiger has been razor sharp on the greens this week. So this for eagle to get to 17 under and an 8-shot lead. He's 12 under on the par 5s this week. And Tiger Woods, we have had several reports that he has not been feeling well at all today. He has felt like throwing up a number of times today. But through it all, he has persevered. Here he is for birdie at the 5th to get to 18 under.
Well, an uphill putt from about 18 feet. Not much break in it, but you're right, Dan has not felt well at the second and third holes. Went to the woods in an effort to expel something if he could. Was not successful in that. A doctor came out to the 5th tee to offer him some medications to help calm his stomach. Tiger told him he had already taken those medications. We don't know if it's food poisoning or flu or what it may be, but obviously in a lot of intestinal discomfort.
Ironically, it was his girlfriend, Elin Nordegren, who had to spend the night in the hospital earlier in the week because she had a bout with food poisoning and dehydration, and now Tiger Woods feeling a lot less than 100%. You can see him on the bag there. That has been the scene we've seen a number of times so far today. Tiger Woods really ailing, but still has an 8-shot lead, and now Faxon for par. Stewart Cink in this final group.
Stewart Cink. This is a short putt, should move just a little bit to his right, if anything at all. Lagged from about 40 feet to this point. Ooh.
And Faxon and Cink, with Tiger continuing to distance himself, have not really done their part to try and keep pace. That is the 3rd bogey for Cink in the first 5 holes. Faxon bogeyed the 3rd to drop to 9 under. As we take a look at the current final round leaderboard, brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. Tiger began the day at 15 under, all pars except for the eagle at the 4th. So right now it is an 8-shot lead over Faxon. It is 9 over Kirk Triplett. And now Brad Faxon. This for his par to remain 8 back.
Wonderful save of par. Missed the fairway, missed the green. Wonderful pitch and putt.
Kirk Triplett has a birdie attempt here. Mark Rolfing with his group.
20 feet down the hill, the green's still holding their pace pretty well. This putt is going to break hard to the right.
Oh, Triplett gets into a tie for 2nd at 9 under with Faxon, and Faxon's doing some scrambling over at the 6th. So 2 birdies in the last 3 holes for Mr. Bucket.
Well, we got 2 tournaments going on here, folks, so you can decide which one you like best.
Charles Howell III for birdie.
Pretty easy putt here. Just down the hill.
Yes, Charles opting for that bucket hat look today. That is Rocco Mediate in his 2nd shot coming into 18.
This hole's scary without 180 yards on a downslope going over all that water. Rocco, it looks like he's hit it pretty flush.
Oh, oh boy.
There's an oh boy. I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's a just barely.
It might have gone back up against the rock. I don't know.
Tiger Woods getting ready for his third shot. Roger, lie appears to be somewhat okay. We can see some of the ball.
It's a reasonable lie. The ball is well above his feet, but a little on an upslope as well. Pitch from about 35 yards.
See how he's aiming way right, playing for that pull. Well, he was aiming way right. I mean, I don't know.
That is the first bad pitch shot we've seen Tiger Woods hit.
Yeah, Gary, he has shown us a variety of his short game talents. Led the tour in scrambling the last 2 years. This action from his third round yesterday. Chip on the fifth. That for a birdie. And then showing us a little something different at the par 5 12th, his third. A little flop here. As the blimp cruises by. Tiger got some altitude on that one. Another birdie. And then showing us a little something different over at the par 4 15th. He only missed 3 greens in the third round. Got it up and down every time. This his third. So a little pitch on display here at 15. Just such a variety of shots he can play around the green. So in the rare instances that he's been off the mark, he has just been right back on the mark with that short game. So that was a rare miscue there, Gary.
Well, it was indeed. And just a moment ago, this was Brad Faxon's fourth from the bunker. Splash it out, let it release down to the hole. Nicely done by Faxon. So he'll have a chance to save par and remain at 9 under. And we go to 13.
And John Daly's birdie putt now. This surprisingly goes left the last 3-4 feet. I have yet to see a player make it from over there. Back to 6.
Tiger Woods will putt from the fringe.
Well, putt downhill toward the water, Gary, that certainly should be influenced to the left in the initial part of the putt. I don't know if he'll continue breaking much left in the area of the cup, but overall, I'd say he's probably going to have to get it a good 6 to 8 inches off the right of the hole, maybe a little bit more.
I think he's starting to feel a little better, Raj. Is there any way of knowing that?
No, Johnny, I don't think he is. He went to a knee after he hit his second shot from the fairway. And you can tell just something is really bothering him.
Good speed. Short tap in for the par to remain at 17 under.
Just earlier now, Brayho from the fairway at 13. About 90 yards to the hole location. Watch this shot. Oh, it actually looks like it landed in the front of the cup and spun around and out of the hole. Then he took his jacket off. Has this for birdie. And he makes it. So by George, that's a taking somewhat of a good feeling out of this hole. Back to 6.
Yeah, Tiger Woods once again sitting on the bag, trying to conserve energy. It's been a scrambling round so far for Faxon. Really has not had a good birdie opportunity through 6 holes. And safely in, so he'll remain at 9 under, but that is 8 behind Tiger Woods. And as the rain seems to be abating for the moment, some of the umbrellas coming down, some of the rain jackets coming off, Tiger Woods off to a great start. Eagle at the 4th at 17 under par, holds an 8-shot lead in the final round of the Bayhill Invitational. We'll be right back. Back at the 17th, Aaron Baddeley with this lengthy putt for a birdie 2. A lot of players have left this downhill putt short, but this speed looks good. Looks good. So close. Let's take a look at the reaction right about now. It's in, it's in, it's, no, it's not. So he'll make an easy par at 17. And now Scott Verplank. A little bit of right to left break in this putt. Yeah, just the third birdie of the day at 17. So Scott Verplank to 8 under par. And we move over to 16. Tiger Woods forced to lay up after the drive in the right rough. And Roger, what's he got left?
He's got 98 yards left to the hole, Gary, and I'm not sure there's any part of this fairway now that isn't casual water in the strictest terms, but it's live clean in place. I think you find the best spot you can and play.
Once again, we see him drying off the cap, trying to make sure the water doesn't drip down in his face in the middle of his swing. Roger, you'd have to look for this to be a little long behind the hole. There's a slope there that he can utilize to stop the ball.
I would think so, and I would think a little right of the hole as well. Got to get up.
Oh, stay, stay. There is some very thick rough on the bank this year that was not there last year, and that holds it up. Move ahead to the 17th. Kirk Triplett, uphill birdie putt now. Chance to be the first of a group to get to 10 under. Didn't hit it. Tiger Woods ready for his 4th shot at the par 5 16th.
Grass grown against his ball a little bit. Has to get it up very quickly. Pretty good.
Very good. Just has all the shots around the green.
How many holes is that without a bogey now, guys?
I think we're at about, what, 41 or 2, something like that.
And a moment ago, 27-year-old Ben Crane in his 2nd year on the PGA Tour. He's got the rally cap on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ben.
Birdie at 18 for Crane, 5 under for the tournament, even round of 72. That's about, what, 2 strokes under the average today.
He's happy.
Crane moves into a tie for 12th.
Yeah, that's going to give him, he had $176,000 going into this event, so that's halfway there to being exempt for next year.
At 16, Tiger with this short downhill putt for a par. Okay. Move over to 17 and Kenny Perry's 2nd.
Take off. Go. Take off. Go. Go on. Go on.
Perry 4 of 7 in sand saves so far this week. Up to 18.
Verplank finishing up. Got a couple of birdies going for him, Mark.
Hole playing very long right now, which I'm sure makes Arnold smile.
And he hit the same shot as last hole, trying to cut it into that area right there. It looks like he's done just that. See if he overcut it. He's leaning like, how's it look, Mark?
Looks short.
Had the right idea, but boy, is that expensive, isn't it, Mark?
It really is. He had really played well the last few holes.
Tiger has chosen a 5-iron.
This hole was like designed by Tiger, wasn't it? I mean, if you're going to say, what's the perfect hole for Tiger Woods, this is it. High fade.
This ball going at the very right side of the green. Holdman's line.
Exclamation point.
Aaron Badley can provide a bright spot here in this threesome. This for birdie. This is a big putt to get to 8 under.
It just goes a little bit to the right, but I don't know if he knows that he's putting. Not only is it wet, but the grain that's any grain on this green, he's running straight into it from there.
Bally 23rd on the money list. Just turned 22 on Monday. Led by 2 after 54 holes in Hawaii before he lost in a playoff to Ernie Els. Boy, and he might not get out of this 18 with some damage. He's got a lot left for par.
Tiger Woods with the Roger Maltby second best shot of the day here at 17. 13 feet from the hole.
Well, certainly I've seen Tiger with many great performances in the past, but I think the way he's feeling, this is just about as good as anything I've watched him do. This has been more than impressive today.
Here we go. Birdie 2, 19 under par, and now 10 shots ahead.
Well, no time on this hole did it look like he was going to make par, but makes a nice stroke. And it's looking good.
To stay at 8 under and a tie for third. Who knows, depending on how Faxon finishes here, it could be worth about 63 grand for Perry. The difference between a 3-way tie for third, 2-way tie for fifth.
What club?
This now from 186 yards. He's got a 6-iron.
Solid?
He has hit it solid. It's at the center of the green, John. Really not cutting right, but it's a good looking shot.
That's almost a perfect shot. I would say most of the field would say that's where you want to aim it. I would think, Roger.
Sink has really played fine golf since that bogey at the 5th.
And Brad's got to say, I can't do this.
177 yards, and he has more of a downhill lie than did Stewart Sink. He does have the hanging lie here, John.
Yep. Well, needs a good one. Second all by himself. Did he pull it off?
Well, this is going left of the hole at the center of the green, left center of the green, and deep. Wow, that flew all the way into the back.
Not too bad at lie, though. That's a nice hard sand lie, and he can stop it no problem. And for him,
yep, the Houdini of Bayhill today.
That'll probably be his 26th up and down out of 32 tries.
Tiger Woods now.
7-iron for 172, and he's driven it down to the bottom, so really a relatively level lie.
It looks.
This ball left of the hole. It's trying to cut some, pretty much in the line of Stewart Sink's.
This makes it look so easy, Roger.
It has been an impressive round, John.
Impressive round, not feeling well. It's been a difficult day with the rain pouring down all day long since this final group teed off. And wasn't a lot of doubt with Tiger Woods in the lead through 54 holes with a 5-shot lead. He has increased it to 10 now over Brad Faxon as he walks further into history, and seemingly every time he tees it up in a big event, he adds to the history. But this is pretty special. You have to go back to 1930, the last time a man won 4 consecutive times in the same PGA Tour event. And you're going way back to Sarazen, and then you go way back to Walter Hagen, who won 4 straight PGA championships.
I had to go back so far, I was in black and white.
Only those men stand alongside Tiger Woods, who's on his way to his 4th straight win here at Bayhill. And who knows, I mean, with this being his 3rd win in 4 events this year, this could be on his way to a similar season like we saw in 2000, Johnny. I mean, he's going to take over the lead in the money list. He didn't play until the 6th week of the PGA Tour season. He spotted Ernie Els, $1.8 million, and here he is, back on top.
Well, he's felt not just poorly, he's felt terrible today. He hasn't smiled one time. That's about as much of a recognition of the gallery he's given us all day. It'll be very interesting to see what he has to say afterwards, if anything at all, and especially to Arnold Palmer in his tournament.
So Sink has the par, and the stage is cleared for 27-year-old Tiger Woods, about to record officially his 37th PGA Tour win.
Finally got to see that red shirt, Raj.
Yeah, he finally peeled off his rain top.
Four in a row for Tiger Woods at Bayhill. 68 in driving rain and feeling a lot less than 100%.